Let's say you're a criminal defendant at a trial. In a normal world, you'd probably be joined by your family, certainly your spouse, maybe some friends. Well, because we live in the upside down, Donald Trump is joined not by those people, but instead by a parade of mouthpieces, acolytes, and sycophants looking to curry favor with their God King. Here's just a small sampling.
One thing that we've all known is this was a sham trial, but when you have an opportunity to see it up close and personal, you can see it's actually a scam trial. When you've got a judge that's a donor to Biden, you got prosecutors that are supporters of Biden, and then you've got relatives of the judge that are benefiting financially directly from this trial and that information, and then you've got the star witness is a serial perjurer. Then you have to ask yourself, what is this all about? And I think the only conclusion, of course, is it's election interference, and it's tying up the president from being out on the campaign trail.
Yeah, he may not have much personality, but he's got Donald Trump's favorite thing, money. Here's Vivek Ramaswamy.
This is garbage. That is the best proof that you have that if they're going to get him Cohen or get him coming, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is a sham. This is not the United States of America. This is some third-rate banana republic. If this were happening in another country, we would be laughing at them as a sham democracy. I am ashamed as an American citizen.
You know that deep down, even Vivek knows that his quote-unquote career in politics was over before it started. Here's J.D. Vance.
I think this trial is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's a sham prosecution. Michael Cohen is the prosecution's star witness. This guy is a convicted felon who admitted in his testimony that he secretly recorded his former employer, that he only did it once, allegedly, and that this was supposed to help Donald Trump. Does any reasonable, sensible person believe anything that Michael Cohen says?
Trump may not be able to attack witnesses, but clearly J.D. Vance has no problem doing his bidding for him. And one particularly revealing statement came from Mike Johnson, who, unlike Doug Burgum and some others, isn't even vying for some spot in a potential Trump administration. He's just doing it because kissing the ring is part of being a Republican.
What we've got here is a partisan Democrat district attorney. We have a Biden donor judge, and we have an assistant DA who was recently a top official at the Department of Justice, Biden's DOJ, and recently received over $10,000 in payments from the Democratic National Committee. The star witness here is Michael Cohen. I just listened to a few moments of his testimony this morning, and it is consistent with what he's already done. This is a man who is clearly on a mission for personal revenge, and who is widely known as a witness who has trouble with the truth. He is someone who has a history of perjury and is well known for it. No one should believe a word he says today. He lied to Congress, he lied to the IRS, he lied to federal election officials. Even Cohen's own lawyer testified to a grand jury that he is not reliable. So there's nothing that he presents here that should be given any weight at all by a jury, and certainly not this judge.
Just so that we're clear, Mike Johnson, defender of the Bible, of Christianity, of morality itself, has decided to voluntarily show up at a courthouse in New York to defend a criminal defendant accused of falsifying business records to hide a hush money payout to a porn star he had an affair with while his wife was at home with their newborn son. Just like Jesus would have wanted. And to be clear, that's a point that didn't seem to get lost on people.
We should also remind people that when asked for his worldview, when Mike Johnson became Speaker of the House, nobody knew anything about him. He said, "You want to know my worldview? Go read the Bible. That's what I stand for." And now today, Joe, he's down at the courthouse in Lower Manhattan defending the guy who's on trial for allegedly paying off a porn star for the alleged affair he had while his wife was home with their infant son.
Now, while these groveling sycophants are clearly looking to get something from Trump, be it a VP slot or a cabinet job, or even just some points with dear leader, Trump stands to benefit too. In fact, here are members of the pack doing what Trump can't do by attacking a family member of the judge on Trump's behalf.
The real bookkeeping that we need accounting of is Judge Merchan's own family member collecting millions of dollars as a Democratic operative, using the existence of this trial as a fundraising ploy for Democrats.
The only thing that's being done wrong is by this judge. His daughter's making money, raising money for Democrats, and all of the fundraising emails and all the fundraising things are about this trial that his daughter is using. He won't recuse himself. This is a travesty of justice.
In other words, while Trump himself may not be able to violate his gag order, there is certainly nothing stopping his mouthpieces from doing so. And in terms of whether it's illegal for a Trump surrogate to be held to account for violating the gag order on behalf of Trump, that would only happen if there's definitive proof that Trump directed them to do so. But absent that proof, there's really nothing stopping these people from doing Trump's bidding, either through some backroom agreement or simply because they understand what they need to do, and so they're perfectly content to pick up the mantle where Trump left off. And because they exist to serve the God King, it's not a stretch for them to know what to do. But hey, definitely not a cult. In fact, if you need more proof of the extent to which Republicans are willing to debase themselves on Trump's behalf, their new strategy is preemptorily to adopt his election denialism ahead of the 2024 election.
Will you commit to accepting the election results of 2024? Bottom line.
At the end of the day, the 47th president of the United States will be President Donald Trump, and I'm excited to get back to low inflation, low unemployment.
Wait, Senator, yes or no? Yes or no? Will you accept the election results of 2024 no matter who wins?
That is my statement.
But is it just yes or no? Will you accept the election results of 2024?
I look forward to President Trump being the 47th president. Kristen, you can ask him multiple times.
Senator, just a yes or no answer.
So the American people will make the decision.
But I don't hear you committing
for President Trump. That's clear.
In other words, this is what the GOP has devolved into, a cult of personality whose entire existence is predicated on sucking up to a sexually abusive con man currently facing 88 criminal charges and whose last act in office was to become the first president in American history not to abide by the peaceful transfer of power, all based on what he knew were lies. And these people have the audacity to call themselves constitutionalists. So the next time you think that anyone will ever serve as a moderating force for Trump, the next time you think that he's just an outlier, look at what's happening at this New York courthouse. These Republicans are broadcasting that they are all just as extreme as him, just as willing to violate the Constitution as he is, and just as steeped in criminality. The danger isn't isolated to Trump, it is evident in nearly every member of the GOP. Before you go, to see more content from MSNBC, make sure to subscribe to this channel by clicking the link right here on this screen. And you can also follow the link to see some exclusive content only on TikTok.